Hello there guys, and welcome to this top 10 list. We're going to be flashing back to the previous decade. Now we're in 2020. We're going to look at the top 10 moments that happened in non-league during the previous decade. We're going to get into it right after this. So before we start, this video has been kindly sponsored by our channel sponsors, OneFootball. This app allows you to see the latest confirmed transfers, the latest transfer rumours, and all that transfer info can be tailored to what you want to see. If you like the sound of it and want to download it, then the link to download it will be in the top line of the description. And number 10 is right at the start of the decade during the 09-10 season, Barrow AFC winning the FA Trophy. They faced Stevenage Borough at Wembley, who had won the competition in 2007 and in the previous year, 2009. They'd also just won the conference and were going up to the Football League, so we're looking to end their time in non-league on a high, but Barrow put a stop to that in dramatic circumstances. Barrow finished 15th in the conference in that season, so were big underdogs for the game, and the game itself ended after 90 minutes at 1-1. In extra time, Barrow native Jason Walker, fans' favourite, scored a lot of goals for Barrow, his hometown club, over a number of years. He was the man to see them seal the FA Trophy with a stunning strike from 25 yards into the top corner. And number 9 is Tranmere Rovers' return to the Football League in the 17-18 season. They dropped out of the Football League after the 14-15 season and were stuck in non-league territory that they just had never really been in. The 17-18 season though was one that they will remember for a long time. They started the season off very poorly, getting just 3 wins from their opening 12 games and sitting in 18th place in the league. However, they went on some unbelievable runs. They won 9 home games in a row over the course of the season. They also went on a run where they won 8 games out of 9, and this propelled them right up the table to finish inside the playoffs in 2nd position. In the semi-finals of the playoffs, they faced Ebbsfleet United. They twice came from behind to level the game at full time, 2-2. In extra time, they scored a couple to win 4-2 to send them to Wembley. At Wembley, they faced Boreham Wood, who were potentially looking at going up to the Football League for the first time ever. Tranmere shot themselves in the foot inside a minute. Liam Rydage was sent off for them, but with the game sitting at 1-1 after 80 minutes, James Norwood got the winner. In number 8 is more action at Wembley, but this time in a different competition. It's North Ferriby United winning the FA Trophy in the 14-15 season. Minnows, in comparison to their opponents, they faced Wrexham. Wrexham were 2-0 up after 75 minutes, but North Ferriby fought back and got 2 before the clock struck full time to end the game at full time at 2-2. They then took it to extra time. It was 3-3 at the end of that, but then North Ferriby won it on penalties. The biggest moment really for them as a club ever, and it won't be topped because the club later in the decade was liquidated and have now had to reform. And number 7 is Chester FC's promotion back up to the National League at the end of the 12-13 season. Chester started the decade in the worst possible way. In March 2010, they were liquidated and they had to reform. The Phoenix Club, though, flew through the leagues, getting 2 promotions in their first 2 years, getting into the National League North, and in their 3rd season, they got another promotion. It was an unbelievable season for them, finishing on 107 points, and that's from just 42 games. They set a number of Conference North records: the most wins with 34, the fewest defeats with just 3, the most points with 107, the most goals scored with 103, the biggest goal difference of plus 71, the longest unbeaten streak of plus 30. So yeah, an incredible moment for them to, inside 3 years, manage to get back up to where they left off. They were in the conference when they liquidated. And number 6 is the manner that Woking managed to gain promotion back up to the National League at the end of the 18-19 season. They finished in the playoffs after a title battle with Torquay United. They were undeterred and managed to really dig in and get through the playoffs and get promoted. But the most dramatic game for them was the semi-finals. They were 2-0 down after 75 minutes at home to Wealdstone. This has been the case for a long time because Wealdstone got their 2 goals inside 19 minutes, but goals on 77 minutes, 84 minutes, and finally, in stoppage time, Jake Hyde scored in dramatic circumstances, an unbelievable comeback for Woking to reach the playoff final, which they did manage to win. They won that 1-0 thanks to a goal from Armani Little, so the grit and determination shown there to lose out on the title but still keep going, been an impossible almost situation of 2-0 down in a playoff semi-final with 15 minutes to go, but still coming through that and managing to get promotion. That is admirable. Now to the top 5, and at number 5 is Sutton United's FA Cup run in the 16-17 season. They were one of 2 teams, as you'll see later on this list, to have an amazing run in the FA Cup during that season. Sutton managed to beat Cheltenham over 2 legs in round 2. They managed to beat AFC Wimbledon, local rivals. They also won 1-0 against Leeds United and then hosted Arsenal on the 20th of February 2017. An unbelievable occasion for them as a football club to have Arsenal at Gander Green Lane. But through all of this, the main thing that gets remembered by the footballing world was the infamous Piegate situation. Goalkeeping coach for Sutton United, Wayne Shaw, had already attracted attention during the FA Cup run, but he famously on TV ate a pasty on the touchline, and this sparked a whole load of controversy because he knew that there were odds of 8-1 for him to eat a pasty on the touchline, and he did it, and this basically broke gambling regulations. Ended up having to leave Sutton United as a result and was fined £375 and banned for 2 months from football. He was however offered a job by Morrison's as an official pie taster, so it wasn't all too bad. In number 4 is another FA Cup moment against a real top side. This one is Crawley Town trip back in the 2010-11 season to Old Trafford. Their run to get to Old Trafford didn't really see them take any massive scalps, but it was an amazing opportunity for them in the 5th round to head to the Theatre of Dreams in front of a massive crowd. They only lost 1-0, but regardless, that was an amazing moment for them, and it was actually in their last season in non-league. They got promoted up to the Football League during that season as well. They spent a lot of money that year and it reaped its rewards. In number 3 is another massive FA Cup game for a non-league side, but this time actually resulted in a victory. Luton Town won away at Norwich City during the 12-13 season. It's the first time in the Premier League era that a Premier League team was beaten by a non-league team in the FA Cup, so it was a huge monumental occasion, and for Luton Town to go and win that game 1-0, a late goal from Scott Rendell secured it, and it does kind of feel weird to be classing Luton as a non-league side, but that is what they were in 2013. They've since risen right up to the Championship. And number 2 is Macclesfield Town's win of the National League against all odds during the 17-18 season. Prior to the season, they had to wait until late into the summer to get their squad assembled. John Askey, their manager, had to go around and just pick all the players up that the other teams essentially didn't want. He had the last pick on the players, but he managed to scramble together a squad that did some incredible things. The team spirit there and the quality of their performances managed to achieve the impossible, because people really thought at the start of the season they were more likely to be relegated than get promoted. So for them to finish in first position was unbelievable. They finished the season on 92 points and are now up in the Football League with all sorts of financial problems, and those financial problems also still did exist during the season that they went and got promoted. So regardless of everything else, the players just stuck to the task at hand and they did something that Macclesfield fans will never forget. For me, the only moment that beats that is the achievements of Lincoln City during the 16-17 season. The Cowley brothers came in as managers at the start of the season and took them from a mid-table obscure side in the National League up to a team that is currently sat in League One. During the 16-17 season, the club beat Oldham in round 2 of the FA Cup. Then they managed to get past Championship side Ipswich over 2 legs, then Championship side Brighton, before they were met with a Premier League trip. Burnley faced them at Turf Moor, and a Sean Raggett goal, famous late header, secured the victory for Lincoln. They won it 1-0 and set up a quarter-final tie away at the Emirates to face Arsenal. It was the first time in 103 years that a non-league side had reached the last 8 of the FA Cup, so it was an absolutely staggering achievement. But At the Emirates, Arsenal quite comfortably beat them 5-0 in the end, but the money that the club has gained from that FA Cup run has helped them progress over the next few years, securing that promotion that season up to the Football League, and then a couple of years later, getting up to League One. The Cowleys now got themselves a move to Championship side Huddersfield, so they're doing very well for themselves, but they've certainly left a very big legacy with Lincoln, and this was a very big part of it. What moments have I missed out on this list, and which were the top ones for you? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, remember that like button and click subscribe as well to update with lots of different information and videos like this one from non-league football. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.